Welcome to AI ConvoCast, where we bring you the latest in AI and tech innovation. Please don't forget to rate, review, and share if you like what you hear. Let's jump right in.
Today, we will be covering NVIDIA's launch of Cosmos 3, a new open-world model for physical AI, the NVIDIA and Microsoft RTX Spark and Surface Laptop Ultra rollout that pushes AI agents onto Windows PCs, MiniMax's surprise M3 release that's undercutting frontier coding models on price, and Anthropic's eye-opening browser agent security disclosures. Starting with NVIDIA, the company launched Cosmos 3 out of GTC Taipei, calling it an open frontier foundation model for what they're branding physical AI. That means robots, autonomous vehicles, vision agents, and simulation environments. The architecture is a mixture of transformers system that handles vision reasoning, world generation, and action prediction in a single model. It can natively work across text, images, video, ambient sound, and action. And NVIDIA says it can take physical AI training and evaluation cycles from months down to days. The lineup has a Cosmos 3 supermodel for high-accuracy robotics and autonomous vehicle work, a nano version for faster video and action reasoning, and an edge version coming later for real-time on-device inference. To put the training scale in perspective, NVIDIA trained Cosmos 3 on roughly 20 trillion multimodal tokens, including nearly 1 billion images and 400 million real and synthetic videos. NVIDIA also rolled out a Cosmos coalition with early partners including Agile Robots, Black Forest Labs, Generalist, LTX, Runway, and Skilled AI. Jensen Huang's pitch was characteristically punchy. He said, quote, "The big bang of physical AI is just around the corner." The strategic read here is that NVIDIA is no longer just selling the chips robotics teams train on. They're trying to own the foundation model layer for embodied AI too, the way OpenAI and Anthropic own it for text. Sticking with NVIDIA, the company also unveiled RTX Spark, a Windows on ARM superchip platform for laptops and desktops. Microsoft introduced the Surface Laptop Ultra, the first full Windows PC built around an NVIDIA main processor. The shared pitch from both companies is that the PC is becoming an agent host, with local memory, local model execution, and guardrails for tool and data access, so workflows don't always have to round-trip through the cloud. The headline spec is that Surface Laptop Ultra can be configured with up to 128 gigabytes of unified memory and run models up to 120 billion parameters locally. That's a meaningful jump because most laptops today can only comfortably run much smaller models. NVIDIA expects more than 30 laptops and around 10 desktops from partners including Dell, HP, Lenovo, Asus, and MSI, shipping in fall 2026. Huang summed up the whole vision in a line that's clearly meant to stick. Quote, "For 40 years, you launched apps. Click, type. With RTX Spark and Microsoft Windows, you ask, whether buyers actually shift from clicking to asking is the open question, but Microsoft and NVIDIA are now putting serious hardware behind that bet." Moving to the model side, Chinese AI company MiniMax dropped MiniMax M3 Sunday evening, and it's getting attention for hitting frontier coding and agent workflows at a fraction of the usual cost. M3 has a 1 million token context window, native multimodality, and a new sparse attention architecture the company calls MSA. It's available now through MiniMax's API and their MiniMax Code product, with open weights and technical documentation promised within about 10 days. Pricing is where this gets disruptive. Discounted API pricing lands at 30 cents per million input tokens and $1.20 per million output tokens, well below most US frontier coding models. MiniMax is aiming squarely at the territory where Claude, Codex, Gemini, and Quinn compete, things like autonomous coding, terminal work, browser tasks, and long context project understanding. Their MiniMax Code product also advertises agent team workflows that break tasks into teams and skills. The strongest external signal came from developer toolmaker Klein, which had day-one compatibility and said M3's sparse attention design cuts, quote, compute and cost to 1/20th the prior generation. That's the kind of efficiency claim that, if it holds up in real workloads, makes it very hard for incumbents to justify their current pricing. And if the open weights release actually lands as promised, enterprises could run a near-frontier coding model inside their own infrastructure, which changes the procurement conversation entirely. Finally, a story that's less about a launch and more about a number nobody else is publishing. VentureBeat dug into Anthropic's safety materials for Opus 4.8 and surfaced a striking figure. In one browser agent red team setting, attackers successfully hijacked the agent 31.5% of the time before safeguards engaged. That sounds alarming on its own, but the real point of the analysis is that Anthropic is one of the only labs publishing concrete, comparable prompt injection numbers at all. Prompt injection, for anyone who hasn't run into the term, is when a malicious instruction gets hidden inside content an agent reads, like a web page, a document, or output from a tool, and that instruction redirects the agent to do something it shouldn't. As agents start browsing the web, reading email, and calling APIs on your behalf, that risk stops being a chatbot curiosity and becomes a real enterprise security problem. The disclosure gap is stark. Anthropic published 244 pages covering 4 different agentic surfaces. OpenAI reported on one surface, Google moved the issue into a separate safety framework, and Meta didn't provide a comparable closed model card.
Carter Reese, VP of AI at Reputation, put the stakes in terms security teams will recognize. Quote, "A phrase as innocuous as 'ignore previous instructions' can carry a payload as devastating as a buffer overflow." The uncomfortable takeaway for buyers is that the model with the worst-looking numbers may simply be the only one being tested transparently enough to show them.
Thank you for listening to AI ConvoCast. Please don't forget to rate, review, and share if you like what you hear. Thanks and hope to see you again next time.